Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fourth Time's a Charm, a twisted narrative actual play in the world of Blades in the Dark. My name is Kristian, and I'll be the Games Master for the evening. Tonight, we're joined by some familiar faces. For those of you who've been watching the previous Blades in the Dark episodes, we're now on episode 4. But for those that haven't seen this, and this is the first time here, welcome. And I'd like everyone to do a very quick introduction for themselves, please. So we'd like to start with Sarah, please.
Hi, so I'm Yig on Discord, and tonight I will be reprising the role of Grimlyn.
Indeed, thank you very much. Kyle.
Greetings and salutations, one and all. My name is Kyle, and tonight I'll be playing the lovely, charming Vixen.
Thank you, Kyle. Rachel.
Hi, so I'm Rachel, and again joining the Blades of the Dark series, and I'm sticking with Jellybean.
Thank you, Rachel. And finally, but by no means least, Andy.
That's me. As Kristian said, I'm known as Andy from Twisted Narrative. I'll be playing Barkin Larkin tonight. I'm very much looking forward to this. And if you haven't seen any of the others, they are on the VODs, so go back and see us. But over to you, Grandmaster Kristian.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Andy. And as always, I'm delighted to have the opportunity to run Blades in the Dark for all of you lovely people. So, Doskvol, a city of factions, each one jostling and jockeying for position amongst the cramped, dark streets. Some factions in Doskvol want to keep it running. Some want to bring it down. Some just want to make it burn. From the Bluecoats to the Billhooks to the mysterious Dimmer Sisters, all have their place in this giant machine. And you had another successful score last time. You've started a few projects as well. You're making a name for yourself in the underworld, and judging by your heat score, the overworld too. Sark, Auntie Helen's appointed guardian of your little gang, is seated at the high back chair at the table in Auntie Helen's back room, with the table once again covered in maps and plans. Sark has a large mug of incredibly dark and suspiciously thick tea, and he leans the chair back with his feet on the table. One by one, you make your way into the back room at Auntie Helen's as you've been summoned here. As you move into the room, what does Sark see? We'll start with Grimlyn. What does Grimlyn look like?
Grimlyn is fairly grubby in appearance. They have a full long-length skirt, a tight waistcoat. In some respects, looks a bit like a sort of school mom. She has a tatty boater hat that she carries with her, and a suspiciously large bag for somebody of her size.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Grimlyn. And how about Vixen? What does Vixen look like?
Vixen stands about 5'8". She's got blue eyes and dirty blonde hair, wearing a ever-present brownish-yellow waistcoat and a floppy cap, looking fairly inconspicuous, able to sort of blend in with most sort of crowds, but one of her sort of defining features currently is very well manicured and painted nails, from a bit of luxury she's indulged in.
Indeed. Been enjoying the spas. Next, we have Jellybean. What does Jellybean look like as she files in?
Yeah, Jellybean is a short little girl. That is as in a child's little girl. She's got very cute appearance, blonde ringlets, and contrary to a lot of maybe the other members of the party, she looks very well off. She's dressed in a very nice sort of dress that's all shiny fabrics and lacing, and looks a bit out of place.
Thank you very much, Jellybean. And again, Barkin, Larkin. What does Larkin look like?
Well, I suppose one could say the complete opposite of little Jellybean over there. Male. He kind of looks hulking, but very rapidly you realise that's not actually him. It's just the layers of clothes that he wears underneath a sort of a tattered waistcoat and sort of overshirt, a large coat, a large scarf and a hat, fingerless gloves, so all seen better times. The coat, in fact, is covered in wax, which has dried now and is like scabs peeling off. He's unshaven, greasy hair, the bit that you can see shoulder length from beneath his hat, and he appears to be having an in-depth conversation with himself.
Wonderful. Sark welcomes you all and bids that you join him around the table. There is a large tea urn. You can hear it bubbling and boiling away. It's rather horrible smelling. And as he pours out a cup for anyone that wants it, you notice the liquid is quite sludgy. But he looks very pleased as you join him at the table, and he sits back and he says, we got another job. You're making waves. And in this case, the person what's got the job for us wants to give it to you himself. It's not uncommon, but you best be on your best behaviour, because he's in the other room.
No,
Don't worry.
not at all.
Not on your best behaviour.
Sorry, no, sorry, that wasn't to you.
Right.
I'm talking to the other.
Oh, the other. Yeah. Well, you might want to think about asking your friend to not interrupt you as you're talking to our new client. He ain't got any weapons on him. I checked him, and he ain't going to be doing any funny business. Not what you lot about, anyway. There's 4 of you and 1 of him. But what he has got is coin. A lot of coin. And, well, if you're all ready, I'd like to introduce you to him.
Yeah, quite like this tea. It's you can chew it.
Yeah, it's my own recipe. It really puts hair on your knuckles. Well, I'll take you into the next room.
Absolutely. Go on.
Wonderful. So he stands up and he kind of shuffles around the table awkwardly, knocking things out of the way, and leads you to Auntie Helen's front room. And he opens the door carefully, and it's just as you remembered it. Very moth-eaten chairs surrounding low coffee tables, lots of pictures all over the walls, pen and pencil pictures of various members of her family and extended family from over the years, including yourselves. You all have pictures on this wall. Even you, Jellybean, have a picture on the wall. You are in the rankings. But as you get into the room, you notice a man sitting in an armchair. He stands up when you enter. He's tall, even without the stovepipe hat you see on the table next to him. He's incredibly slim and wearing a dark blue pinstripe suit. He has a very long moustache, curled, and it's been immaculately trimmed and very well maintained. You suspect it is oiled. He holds out his hand to shake anyone's as you enter, and he goes, good evening. Silas Scratcher is my name, but you can call me Mr. Scratcher. I'm a businessman of sorts, imports, that sort of thing. And I have a job for you that requires some discretion. It pays very well. I've managed... Ooh, sorry?
Vixen's happy to step forward and take the hand. It's a pleasure, Mr. Scratcher. Absolutely. Look, absolutely amazing, sir. Completely out of place here, but...
Oh, no. I don't mistake me. I am not someone who... I'm not one of the people that lives up in the upper echelons of society here. No. I just find it's better to present yourself well. People tend to think well of you when you present yourself well.
Well, you do it marvelously.
Oh, thank you very much. His eyes dart over to Larkin just for the briefest of moments. Presentation, I find, is everything. Well, I've managed to acquire a small trinket from overseas on behalf of a rather discerning client. However, that trinket is currently stuck in a vessel just on the edge of the lightning barrier. I need a group with skills to acquire a vessel, go out to sea and get it, bring it back, and then get it to me. You see, this trinket, this good luck charm, if you will, is very highly illegal. In fact, simply having it on your person would bring the blue coats and the spirit wardens down on you. So the blue coats and spirit wardens may already be aware of the vessel that it's currently on, but they won't do anything about it because I said it's on the edge of the lightning barrier.
Where do we need to bring it to?
Oh, I have a house. Well, not a house. I have a shop. You can bring it to my shop. It is admittedly in one of the nicer areas of town, but it's yes, it does me very well. Bring it to my shop, and I will give you the rest of the money. I will give you half up front and half on delivery. How does that sound? The pay is 8 coin.
Sounds good. I mean, it's a lot of coin, 8.
Yes.
It's a lot of danger, Barkin.
Well.
What? You say it's illegal.
Yes.
Well, that's not a problem, but why is it illegal?
Well, the charm has certain properties, you see. It is very old. It's from many, many, many hundreds of years ago. And the spirit wardens don't like it because it has certain powers in the presence of spirits and ghosts. Now, I haven't looked into it fully. I don't tend to ask too many questions. But if the spirit wardens were to find somebody with this device, that this person could find ghosts themselves, it might encourage ghosts, it might bring ghosts to them. The spirit wardens obviously don't want that to happen. And the blue coats are in league with the spirit wardens. So, get it ashore, get it past any blue coats or any customs officers or any spirit wardens you may find, and they may be able to detect it, I don't know. They're a funny lot, the spirit wardens. And
Yes,
then,
they're no fun at all.
I'm sorry, what's that, young lady?
They're no fun. The spirit
No,
ward.
no, they're not. They're trying to keep honest businessmen like me down.
You can't even kill anybody.
No. Well, don't worry. That won't be a problem when you get to the vessel. Because you'll be out at sea, and spirit wardens don't go out to sea.
Oh.
Well, not very often, anyway.
You kind of say it's on the edge.
Yes.
Now, right on the edge or the other side?
Well, the other side.
Right, so I think a few more coins maybe then.
Oh, for the danger pay.
If it was this side of the barrier, 8 coins is definitely reasonable, maybe even generous. The other side of the barrier, well, bugger that.
Very well. I'll increase your pay by 2 coin. So, make it 10 coin. How does that sound? 2 coin danger pay.
I just look at the others. Don't say anything.
I'm not very well versed in the barrier, but I know it's something you're probably more familiar with, Barkin. So do you think 2 coin is reasonable to get us through it?
Depends. You know what the barrier does, yes?
Keeps the ghosts out.
All right. So what do you think's the other side of the barrier?
Ghosts.
You. Clever.
Yes, I have many tutors. Although I must confess they're not so willing to discuss that sort of thing. But are we likely to get swarmed immediately or what?
Well, they love a bit of Barkin Larkin.
But you like that, so I'm not sure that's a problem.
Ah.
Will they swarm us?
It's difficult to say. In truth, I've never been the other side of the barrier. Never thought I would do. But 10 coin is an awful lot of coin, I have to say. I think it is fair.
Good. Well, you do the job, and you bring the little charms to my shop in Brightstone, and well, we'll be squared away. But as I said, make sure you stay away from spirit wardens, and make sure you stay away from the bluecoats, because if they get wind that you've got these on you, they'll be after you.
This item look like?
Oh, they're in a small box. So you'll know what it looks like when you get it. Small wooden box. Open the lid, and there'll be a little jade token, about that big, in it. Intricate carvings. I've only been described it, unfortunately. But you'll know when you see it, because those attuned to those sorts of things will feel the power.
So we shouldn't need specialist equipment.
Well, except for a vessel. And to deal with any other unpleasantnesses. Because
Of
I said
course,
the blue...
I mean physically to carry it. Sorry.
Yes, the bluecoats seem to already be aware that that it's there, but obviously they're not doing anything about it at the moment. But well, it's
What
only...
makes you think they know?
Oh, I had a rat in my operation. But I don't want to give these up. I've tried a number of times to get these talismans so far. And I have completely failed. But you know what they say? 4th time's a charm.
shall see.
Good, good. Well, I shall go back to my shop in Brightstone and await the good news. The sooner you do it, the better, though, because if you leave it too long, I'm fairly certain the Bluecoats will probably get it, and well, whatever it is I've bought for my client will be at the bottom of the bay, and that won't be good for business. Now, if you go down with it, well, if I lose the gem or whatever, don't worry, it's fine, because I mean, I'm not going to be able to get it back from the bottom of the bay. But if you steal it from me, I'll have to do something about that. So I'm trusting you not to double cross me, and you shall trust me not to double cross you.
Sounds fair.
Wonderful. Well, I shall bid you all a good day. And he stands up and he walks out, leaving you with Sark. So Sark just looks and goes, oh, 10 coin, that's a lot. I mean, he's even going to pay my cut on the top of that, so blimey. Things have got to be worth something if it's 10 coins worth.
Don't like this at all. Don't like it one little bit.
Sounds like an easy job to me. Get out there, get it, get back.
Yeah, you would say that sitting here.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I got it. Sorry, what was that? What was that, Jellybean?
It sounds complex. We have the worries of how we get about or some kind of maneuver over there. We have the barrier and the ghost problem. And we have getting back without detection.
Well, various Leviathan hunters, they go out beyond the barrier all the time. I mean, that's their job. They go out there to hunt the Leviathans and get the Leviathan oil. So, someone does it regularly. But I don't mean it's any safer because of the bloody Leviathans.
Perhaps there's some going that way. Drop us off.
Well, you need to come back as well.
Indeed.
Nah, don't like this at all.
Well, you took the job.
You can see that Barkin Larkin, something is not sitting right with him. He's looking very uncomfortable.
What's the problem, Barkin?
Look, I ain't afraid of no ghosts, right? It's the water. The water.
Well, you'll be on a boat.
Yeah, that's the
Not
problem. Yeah, be on the boat, on the water. If I wasn't on a boat, I wouldn't be on the water, would I?
You'll be on the water, not.
It's unnatural. All that water. I mean, everybody can see you from miles around.
Possibly.
Well,
I
it's
suppose
flat.
it depends on the weather. Maybe if there's fog.
Well, can any of you swim?
I don't know. How likely is it there will be swimming lessons? I'm imagining not very.
Very unlikely. And a lot of you know that no one just goes for a dip in the bay. Because when you dip in the bay, you don't come out of the bay.
Well, there's only Leviathans further out, I guess.
That's the least of your worries. When further out, yes, the Leviathans are a big worry, but there are things that live in the water, things that even live in the bay that people don't like to talk about.
Okay.
Look, I'm doing it, but I don't have to like it. And I'm going to be, well, on edge. This water. It's unnatural stuff. Gets you all wet.
Yeah. Well, we'll certainly plan to avoid being in the water. It's not safe.
Well, I agree with you there.
So we'll move towards planning an engagement, I think, because really you need to figure out a way of getting out there, getting back, and getting it to his shop. So you, as always in Blades of the Dark, you go through the sort of planning engagement role. So with the engagement, you need to think about how you want to do this. So you either assault, there's deception, there's stealth, there's occult, there's social, or there's transport. Now, if it's transport, you need the route and means. Now, if you don't have the route and means, then you need to try and acquire the route and means. Social, you have a social connection, you can figure out sort of a way into something. Occult, there's an arcane method. Stealth, you need a point of infiltration. Deception, a method of deception. Or assault, you need a point of attack. Now, you are free to discuss things and try and do some fact finding before we make the engagement roll, but not too much. So, as we move towards it, you don't have a ship yet, so what do you want to do?
So can I just ask, out of
Yes.
character, how far, what's the distance from Duskfall to the location where this ship would be, the barrier, basically?
It's not very far, to be honest. You can see it when you're out in the bay. You can see the sort of the lightning barrier crackling. If there were a vessel kind of on this side of it, you might even be able to see it from the right point in town. That's probably why it's not come onto this side yet.
So would we be looking at a small sailboat or a rowboat?
Rowboat's probably too dangerous. You'd probably think it would be one of the small, like one of the small tugs or something like that.
Yeah. So they do have engined boats here.
Oh yes, yeah. There are lots of boats that run off the Leviathan oil itself, or the plasma. These big, oily, stinky, almost diesely sort of vessels. Yeah, they've got big ones. I mean, you've got very fancy paddle steamers where the posh people get on, but you also have these tugs and these Leviathan hunters, these vessels that are fueled by Leviathan oil that are designed to go out there, get the Leviathan blood from the undying Leviathans and come back.
Brilliant. So that was all out of character.
Yeah.
I probably would know none of that information, as I dislike the water. So I just look blankly at all of you three.
Sark is still around as well and available as an advisor should you wish to ask him any questions.
Sark, do you know any Leviathan hunters?
None at the moment, because I think most of the ones I know are dead.
We don't need dead ones.
Well, I've heard rumours. A couple of gangs down on their luck. They're the sort of people that do this job quite often. Maybe not on this scale, though. One group's called the Foghounds. They got themselves a boat, from what I heard. A small, medium, sort of size steamship. Former Leviathan hunter. But they're quite hard to get in with. Then, of course, you got the Vultures. They're up and coming. But they've had a big old scrap with the Foghounds. The Foghounds and the Vultures don't get on very well at all. And the Vultures, based out of the docks, they got a small ship as well. You might be able to hire them, or you could go ask around at the docks and figure out if there's anyone with a ship that wants to help you out. But, well, I'll put this in quotes. Honest Leviathan hunters are few and far between.
Well, I don't suppose we need honest ones.
No, but it's who they rat you out to. With a gang, they ain't going to rat you out of the blue coats.
Right. So, something's occurred to me. Perhaps we should have asked whatever his name was, Silas. But he said this is stuck on a boat. Now that boat might have a crew that we need to deal with, but there's probably other stuff on that boat as well. So maybe we can use that as a sweetener with one of these crews. We get what we want, just that small box. They get the pick of anything else.
That sounds like the kind of thing gangs would enjoy. If we can get a ship name, perhaps from our friend, we could find the manifest, possibly.
That's a good idea. Book smarts, that's you.
Well, Father does plenty of trade up and down the area. And
So
he certainly can't.
I think finding out what else is on the boat, what kind of crew it is, all of that kind of stuff could be advantageous to our approach.
Okay.
I'm just wondering, what's the largest tower? I wonder if I can construct some kind of wings for me to glide across so I don't have to go on one of those boats. Oh.
But what if you land in the water?
Well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you're all getting visions of Wile E. Coyote-esque Larkin going through the air, and then. So, is there anything anyone else wants to know? We'll go to Grimlyn. Actually, is there anything you want to know? You want to find out?
Don't think so, because I was thinking about how we could kind of just use some of the local, like the pubs and stuff down by the docks to find crews and things like that. But given that we've got some insight into that, we can maybe try and get some insight into the different gangs if we can't get that from here. So just to see which buttons we can press.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anyone's free to make a roll to gather that information. If you've got skills to do it, you can tell me what you want to roll and roll it, and we can figure out. Because this is part of the gathering information phase of planning, where you might need more information to make a decision, and we could start the.
Okay, I have got a friend who is a gang leader.
Oh, who is your friend?
Bazo Baz.
Bazo Baz.
What a name. And I have consort.
So you're going to consort with Bazo.
Yeah.
So, give me a consort roll then, please, Jellybean. Okay. So, in Blaze in the Dark, a roll of a 1 is a 1, 2, and 3 is a failure. A 4 and a 5 is a success with a complication, and a 6 is a success. You rolled a 1 and a 5, but you get a 5 because we always take the highest if you've got 2 dots in it. So, Bazo, what do you want to ask Bazo?
Bazo, we're looking at working with these gangs. We're wondering what sort of thing they might be interested in if we get the manifest. And to be honest, I can't remember. I've already forgotten. Was there something else I was supposed to be asking in the excitement of finding Bazo Baz?
If you're asking us, we want to.
Yeah, out of character. Whatever we just said.
I mean, I don't know how good he'll be, but the questions that we want to sort of find is the name of the ship, the size of the ship, the cargo on the ship, kind of how much crew there is.
So ship itself details.
Details, and then we also want to know about the vultures. and they're rivals to see which is the better of those two choices, really.
Yeah. Ask Bazzo what he knows about those two gangs. I guess if he thinks one of the two is better to work with. And yes, and has he heard anything about this boat?
He sighs, says, I really wish you hadn't asked me about this. I have heard of that. I have heard of the boat. Some posh bloke's been going around asking if anyone wants to take the job on. A few people have, but they've not been able to make it out there so far. They've not actually, one group tried to go out, so I've heard, and they made their own boat. That sank, and they were never seen again. The next group went out in a boat that they'd stolen, and they didn't know how to operate it, so they crashed it into the piers, and they sank and were never seen again. The third boat, that was the one with the most success. However, what I heard was that, the boat came back. It was a Leviathan hunting crew. Boat came back with the Leviathan hunting crew, but no gang.
No word from the hunters?
No one said anything. We didn't want to ask questions. Though Leviathan hunters can sometimes be very scared. I mean, these are people that go out there and siphon off blood from the undying Leviathans. It takes a certain kind of person to do that. But
sounds exciting.
You want to know about the Foghounds and the Vultures? Well, the Foghounds, they're run by a lady called Margette Vale. And she's a fearsome one. Quite quiet. Quite calculating. But when you're in with the Foghounds, you're in for life. They are very friendly with those down the docks. Very friendly. They seem to like the Lampblacks as well. They don't get on well with the Bluecoats or the Vultures. In fact, they just succeeded on a raid at the Vultures. Their ultimate goal is basically to be the only smugglers in business. The Vultures are, on the other hand, they're up and coming. They've suffered some blows in recent weeks. Tezza is the name of the gang leader there. Big Angie is his second in command. They're mostly interested in making a name for themselves and making a load of money. Again, they don't really like the Bluecoats, and they don't really like the Foghounds. They've not really made any friends yet. So if you wanted to befriend them, maybe you'd be the first. But then the Foghounds would paint a target on your back.
Well, yes, that sounds a position of weakness, potentially. Have you heard anything about this boat physically then? Or any idea on where to get the manifest?
The manifest? Well, everything I know is that boat comes from far away. So we don't actually have, no one really knows what actually is on board it. The rumor is that it's transporting mushrooms.
Are they worth a lot?
Not in the slightest.
Can't say I'm fond of mushrooms.
Well, that's not what the mushrooms are a cover. Do you know how smuggling works, Jellybean?
Yes. You put the thing in somewhere secret and then you take it somewhere it's not supposed to be.
Exactly. So the mushrooms aren't the secret thing.
But they probably have real mushrooms, otherwise it wouldn't be.
Oh, yeah, they probably do have a shed load of real mushrooms there, but, look, you're getting yourself involved in it, that's fine. Don't get me and my gang involved in it. We don't want none of it. We are a dry land gang. We don't do sea.
Well, I wasn't expecting us to do seeing, but here we go. I don't believe I've been on this. Well, maybe a little steamboat or.
Yes, I can't imagine you've been on the kind of vessel that you might be getting on soon. But yeah, if you want to talk to the foghounds, there is, well, go down to the canals near the docks and talk to people down there. The dockers will be able to help you. Or if you want to talk to the vultures, they've got a small warehouse in the docks that there is their current temporary HQ, as the last one was burned to the ground.
Well, perhaps they will be inspired.
Well,
thanks, Bazo. You're very helpful as always. Do drop by the stables and we'll make the usual arrangements.
thank you very much. But there's a complication there, and the complication is you've done this meeting. Where would you have done it? In kind of a public place, at a tavern?
I mean, yeah, it kind of depends where Bazo prefers to meet.
He does his business in a tavern normally.
So wherever he does his business.
So yeah, but you're fairly certain that some of that conversation was overheard.
Yeah, but it sounds like the job's not secret anyway. So.
No. Lots of people in the underworld have been asked, and lots of people don't want to touch it with the barge pole. What about the rest of you? I mean, I said we're trying to move towards the engagement role of you figuring out how you're going to get there. So I propose that the engagement role is for the first step of getting the ship to get you to that action of being on a boat. So it's up to you whether you want to use the two things you've been given, the foghounds or the vultures, and make choose one of the paths of assault, deception, stealth, occult, social, or transport to get to that point, or whether you want to try and get your own boat, steal your own one, or work with something else.
So I think we use one of these two gangs. There's pros and cons for either one, really. I'll let you discuss about that. There's, if we go with the well-known ones, they are supposedly reliable, but they might ask more from us. The other ones sound a little bit desperate, but obviously keen and are in need of friends. So pros and cons. I know that doesn't help the decision, but it's a choice that we need to make. And I suggest we try stealth, as in we hire these smugglers or travel with these smugglers and try and get there across as quietly as we can, with them being smugglers. That's my suggestion. But feel free to throw in any thoughts that you have. Does that sound logical and sensible, or have you got any other ideas?
I think I'd be leaning towards going with the foghounds if they're more established. If they're very loyal, they could be of help to us if we get any other jobs outside the barrier. But as you said, a bigger cut may not be as willing to go for whatever else is on the ship with completely unknowns.
Well, let's not go that far and give the GM any ideas.
It could be
I agree, definitely going with one of the gangs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we could try the foghounds first and pull on the fact that, I mean, I tend to think of it as more social than stealth, but pulling on the fact that they really don't like the blue coats. Neither do we.
Yeah.
If they have any hint of kind of our reputation, then we can kind of go, yeah, look, we've, whatever.
I'm more than happy to use
and then if they don't go for it, we can go to the vultures and go, hey, wouldn't you like to?
I was just assuming that we hire them and then we make the role, rather than we make the the role in hiring them? Can you clarify that?
It's the overall.
Yeah, it is.
It's up to how you want to do it. If you want to try and hire them in kind of gathering information and then make the role,
Yeah.
that's fine. If you want to make the role being hiring them, that's fine. It'll get straight to the point of you getting that negotiation, so you can skip a lot of the trying to find them and all that sort of stuff.
It's just I was assuming that a social role would be trying to trick our way onto the other ship rather than trying to stealth our way onto the other ship.
I guess I'd interpret more as just we're working with them.
Yeah.
Ship, but
Yeah, I mean, you can use social to talk
I'm
about
talking
finding.
about the main ship, not the.
yeah, sorry. So yeah, I guess I was thinking something like social to work with the gangs, but as you say, then it's like it's a two-stage kind of bit where then we.
So I'm not. What I'm trying to say is I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
What is the engagement? Is the engagement to get onto
It's
the
to
ship?
get to the action. It's to get to the point where you set sail. So you've got everything ready. You've got your load ready, and the ship, to taking you to that point where either you're negotiating passage onto a ship, or the ship is the boat is moving away from the port.
Yeah, sorry, I misunderstood then. So yeah, social is much more sensible.
Wonderful. So we've got social then. So what we need to do next is talk about load. So remember, you've got boxes of load that you can have for this, and it all depends on how bulky you look. So if you go for heavy load, obviously you will look like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando when he goes on the island. And if you go for a light load, you will look more like John Wick. So we'll go around. So Grimlyn, what are you taking load-wise?
We're going on a boat. And we're going to go somewhere quite dangerous. I think for the first time, I'm going to go heavy load.
Heavy, great. Vixen.
I think normal load.
Normal. Jellybean.
I mean, yes, I agree that we're packing essentially for a big expedition, and it's not at this point that we're actually trying to sneak anywhere. Oliver and I am only quite small. I'll go normal.
Normal. And Larkin.
I've been tinkering, and it's a very, very heavy load.
Heavy, wonderful. So what I need to know from you is your social connection that gets you into the Foghounds. So do you know anyone? Would you know anyone? Would you think anyone can make an introduction to you? For you, what do you think?
Well, we've been given the name and the location. So we haven't got a direct introduction as such, but we've got.
We was also told to go down to the docks, and they're very friendly with the docks.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anybody's got any associates down at the docks, but if someone's good at conversing down there and dealing with people.
Who's good at dealing with the salt of the earth?
Probably not me.
I mean, conceptually, yes. That's why it's no.
Okay.
I mean, that's this game, so yeah. I mean, that's good. Doesn't matter about what dice you roll.
No.
Go for it.
You can give it a go. You can roll. Someone can either help you and take some stress before we even start, and you get one dice in one of your social skills that you can choose, consort or.
I mean, my social skills are quite good, so even though I wouldn't be very, well in with the dock workers, if you think having a cute kid sort of tag along might help, then I can come.
I mean, I don't mind. I'm sure. I don't know. Grimlyn might suggest that we grubby you up a little bit to fit in better. If we're going to do a blag, much like we did last time, that you're related to kind of one of us, then it's looking a bit less tidy.
That worked very well last time. Please check out the last video we did.
I mean, I was thinking more of having a mud fight, but okay.
Have some fun beforehand.
Yeah.
Probably still got the outfit. to be
Yeah, so I
honest. That
think
beautiful dress that was too nice.
yeah, I'll give it a mud bath and then it'll be fine.
Unless
So-
anyone else has got social stats and wants to go along with Grimlyn, I think.
Jade. Let's see, Vixen is not that bad at social and could go along if you'd rather not, Jellybean.
Whilst all this is going on, I'm just going to tinker with my device.
Yep. That sounds good.
It's a surprise.
Yes. So I suspect it'll be a surprise even to me. So, Grimlyn and Vixen, you go down to the docks to have a quick word with some people. There are taverns, there's everything around the docks. So, what's your approach here? What are you going to try and do?
So I think initially Grimlyn kind of would go in and just kind of have a drink, try and get an idea of the atmosphere, maybe see if there's anyone that seems particularly disgruntled at it. And then maybe kind of use the opportunity, like when they go to the bar to get a drink or whatever, to just kind of make some kind of gruff comment to Vixen about what an awful day that that kind of approach to see if they can get like that little bit of a connection going,
Okay.
and kind of take it from there.
Pick a skill, please.
I mean, I have to pick sway because it's the only thing I'm good at.
Okay.
Which fits with the kind of scenario I'm setting up.
So remember, you can push yourself to take 2 stress to have an extra dice, or Vixen, if you have a big pool of stress, you can support and take 1 stress yourself.
I certainly don't have a big pool of stress, but I'm along to help, so I will help.
Wonderful. So take 1 stress, Vixen. As the 2 of you are, this scene is described where you're in the bar, and Grimlyn, you make your comment to Vixen when one of the dock workers goes up to the bar. So roll me your sway, please, and add an extra dice. The tension, waiting for the dice to come through. Here we go. Oh, look at that. A 5 and a 6. A 6 is a success.
So do I get an extra dice for Vixen helping me?
Yes. You get an extra 1 for Vixen helping you, yeah. Oh, did you not roll that extra 1?
Oh, I've lost everyone.
Your audio's cutting out. We can't hear you at the moment.
Yeah,
I think
appear
it's
to be
your
having
connection rather than your Discord.
yes, we appear to be having some technical difficulties. But I mean, a 6 is good. A 6 is very, very good. Just as I explained earlier, 1, 2, 3 is always a failure. Blaze in the dark. 4 and a 5 is a success with a complication. A 6 is a success. Now, if you roll multiple dice, and you have a positive dice pool, and you get 2 6s, that is a critical success. So that means something exceptionally good happens. I believe we had one last time, which was very, very good.
So am I right in thinking that if you had 3 dice, you get to roll another dice, and if you get a 6
Yes.
on that, it's going to be even better than a success.
Yes. So we need that extra. If you have 1 extra dice, Grimlyn, we need that extra dice rolling so we can see it.
Yeah,
Afraid you might be muted now.
We can't hear you at all.
No. Everyone loves technical problems midstream.
I mean, we can just assume it was a critical success anyway.
Well, I could be kind like that. Yes.
Hypothetically speaking, if it was a critical success, what would have happened?
Well, the whole pub would have erupted into song and dance. They would have all started singing "Me Old Bamboo," which I'm not going to sing because otherwise this video gets pulled down. But you know, and
Like the bit enchanted, is it?
yeah.
Blades
Lots
in the
of
Dark, the musical episode.
Yeah, we've not gone that far yet. So anyway, I'll describe what happens with the 6 because it's perfect. And with the 6, you get in with a group of dock workers, and you know they invite you over to the table, and you're a curious pair because a lot of these people are a lot of sort of very ruddy faced and very sort of well, compared with Vixen's beautiful hands at the moment, these all have quite rough, calloused hands. These men and women in here. But you get in with them, and you can either steer the conversation wherever you want. You can steer it. Well, how would you try and get them to talk about the Foghounds?
I think you've just asked someone a question that can't speak.
Yes, but we've got Vixen as well.
All
though.
right, that's cool. Vixen, go for it.
No pressure there. I think it would be perhaps asking if there's any sort of opportunities to boost the income anywhere or anything.
Yeah, they they like you with your 6 and your potential critical success in potentia, and because they like you, they've decided that they will be your social connection basically to get you in to the Foghounds, which means we can go to the engagement role. So I know what load you're taking. I know your plan, social, getting yourself in. So is this operation particularly bold or daring? Yes. Okay, I'll have an extra D6. Is it overly complex or contingent on many factors?
Yeah.
Oh, then you lose a D6. Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they are weakest? It's a boat.
The boat doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't really have a weakness as such. Other than that
The target's not strongest against the approach, so that's fine. Does anyone have any friends or contacts that can provide aid or insight for this operation?
Not more than I've used already.
Well, you have used it, and I will add that on because that's helped. That wasn't supposed to roll just yet. Well done, me. So yeah, we can ignore that too. It's fine. So you got 2d6 so far. Are there any other elements you want to consider? So you are going for quite a good gang that can help you. You're not going for the rubbish gang. So yeah, I'm going to give you an extra d6 as well on top of the one you got for luck. So that means you've got 3d6 for the engagement wrong. Now this will take you straight up to the point where basically hands are going to be shaken. Shooken. Well, look at that. That is a critical success on the engagement wrong. So
An actual, not in potential one.
Yeah. So you are led in, and you are led straight up to Margette herself. Margette Vale, the leader of the Foghounds. In the room as well is a rather large, moody gentleman called Bear, and a rather slim man with sort of bucket boots on and a waistcoat called Goldie. Margette says, "Hey, all you. So you're saying you want me to take you all out past the lightning barrier to get to a ship, to get something and bring it back that the blue coats don't want anyone having?"
Exactly. Very good.
I'm in. Sign me up. She shakes you all by the hand. She's like, I'm in. Like, if we're going to stick 2 fingers up to the blue coats, that's fine. Now,
The boat
got a
might have
price.
other fancy things the blue coats also don't
Well,
want.
that's what we're going to say. So, whatever you want for your smuggling, it's fine. This thing's probably got other things on it. We get to keep the lot.
Yes.
Deal.
Great. Well, I didn't know if it was part of the deal to ransack the other boat, but well, you
Well,
said we
it's
can
there.
now, so that's what we're going to do.
We haven't heard
Great.
otherwise, so why not?
Brilliant. So, we better set off as quickly as possible then. And in no time at all, you are finding yourselves on the deck of this this medium steamship, the Foghound. It has a large chimney in the center of it that is spitting out steam. You can hear the mechanics down below. There's a good crew on this boat as well, as there's probably about 20 people on it doing the various jobs that need to be done on a boat. So you head out. You head out of the canals and you head out onto the open water. And just the perfect timing, the seagulls are in the background there. You may not find yourselves feeling very comfortable on a boat of this kind because it's rocking from left to right. There's no cabin for you because they're not really expecting it to take that long to get there. But you start, after maybe an hour and a half or so, you start to approach the lightning field. In your head, Larkin, you hear a, "Oh, I don't know what's going to happen here."
That makes 2 of us, my friend. Makes 2 of us. Exciting. Thrilling.
Oh, I'm not excited. I'm scared.
It's okay.
What if it?
If you need
What if
me
it
to
turns?
pee, I'll pee for you.
I think that might happen. Yeah, this spirit in your head, Adric, is very, very worried right now. Doesn't know what going through the lightning field's going to do to it. You start to see just outside the crackling lightning field, ships and boats can pass through it. Everyone gets inside when they do it. You don't really want to feel it, not because it's going to damage you, but mostly because it's going to make you feel a bit weird. So everyone hunkers down as this ship rolls over the inky black waves and passes through the electric field. And then you find it right next to a boat, about the same size. You're outside the lightning field. You are unprotected from the ghosts and the spirits and the demons that live out beyond the field. The boat moves and rocks slightly as something big moves deep beneath, causing waves. Marjet comes up to you and says, "The boat's ship's over there that you need to get onto. If it's all the same to you, we'd quite like you all to go first. We're a cautious bunch, and well, I don't know if you can see, but I can't see anyone on board it. So, I mean, I know boats like that, they have quite a lot going on below deck. You've obviously got the bridge up there, and then you've got, this level here on this deck, and then you've got the lower decks below. So, yeah. And yeah, you reckon this boat has a bridge up top, then it has a deck that's sort of a main deck, and then it has 2 below deck levels.
I'll say to a ship that size, what What size crew should it have?
Probably 30 or so.
I think it's been here a little while though, hasn't it?
Aye, it has been in a little while.
I mean, let us say what we all think. Outside, with all the ghosts, with the thing that we're after that brings the attentions to the ghosts, they are either possessed or worse. This is probably a ghost ship now.
After you?
How is there a sort of little rowboat to get across, or do they bring us close and then we need?
They bring it close and they put a gangway between the
Yeah.
two and they lash it together.
Okay. I start putting these very, very large sort of like duffel bags. There's kind of one over each shoulder and one in each hand. Really heavy load.
Brilliant.
You know, my heavy load isn't just like a backpack full of stuff.
Yep.
It's like several bags.
And what about you, Vixen?
I suppose Vixen is going to start walking the gangplank to perhaps looking into the water, wondering if it might be the better choice.
You're looking at the water and it's the same inky blackness as it is on the other side of the lightning field. It's just moving a bit more. Occasionally you hear from the distance a deep
Okay, sufficiently concerned about the water, I'm going to hurry onto the boat.
Yep. You don't want to be on the gangplank for too long. Jellybean.
Jellybean's gonna let the others go first.
Okay. Well then, Grimlyn, can we test and see if you're back?
Can we hear you?
Ah, we can't hear you. Right. So,
You could type, I guess. Not as fun, but
so, well, everyone makes it across safely, or at least semi-safely. And then you're on the ship. You're on the boat, I should say. It's not big enough to be a ship. It is a boat. It is small, but it's, you said, got 3 decks and a bridge. And yeah, it's not the nicest. The deck's pretty well, it's been quite heavily hit by weather. Smells a bit of dried dead fish.
Okay.
So you're on the deck of the ship right now, and yeah, you've got doors leading onto this. So we'll call it deck 1. You've got deck 1 where you are right now, deck -1 underground, deck -2, and the bridge, which is just a small cabin on top of deck 1.
Right. I mean, supposed the rumours was mushrooms, so things could be hidden in the crates of the mushrooms, or there might be some kind of secret stash, some kind of secret compartment where they keep the stuff that they are truly smuggling. Anybody good at looking for those? I think I'm probably best just keeping my eye out for any unwanted guests, either on the ship or incoming to the ship.
Could you try and hunt for the aura of this thing if it's supposedly a powerful sort of spirit attraction?
Yes, be warned. if I do my thing, it might attract unwanted attentions. But I'm happy to do my best if you think that is a better way than just using your eyes, as pretty as they are. Don't want to get yourself dirty.
Well, I'm hoping it's up on the bridge, and we don't have to go into the lower decks.
Yeah, because like smugglers really do keep the thing they're smuggling up in the bridge, the first place that any blue coat would go.
Well, you don't know. Maybe just a panel in the wiring missing, and a few small things hidden up there.
I bet you 2 coins it's not.
Yeah, no.
So, are you going to try something then, Larkin?
If that's what people want me to do, I'm hesitant because I'm outside, but I'm more than happy if you want me to do it, and I'm more than happy for you to do that.
I think, given Barkin's usual eagerness for spirits, it's certainly making me wary to continue asking. But
Up to you.
trying to figure out what skill would be to look things around. I'm almost tempted to say hunt, but I think that's more to do with people than objects.
Well,
It can be.
We are missing an entire crew at the moment, so it'd be nice to know where they are.
I'd rather not encounter them.
Encounter them corpsey, that's probably fine. Encounter them walking around, that's probably worse.
Well, let's face it, Jellybean, you're looking for some things to shiv, aren't you?
If they're already dead and possessed by ghosts, does that even count?
There's going to be no bells out this side. It's free game.
Good, because my butcher cut me off, you know. So.
You scare me more than these ghosts you do. It's not quite right. It's not right for anybody, but looking at you, lass, little girl, with that glint in their eyes, sends me all a quiver. And not in the nice ways.
Good.
You terrify me.
Good.
Vixen's going to start looking around for an entrance to the lower deck.
Okay.
Now.
Are you going to give me a roll for looking around, trying to see if you can find a likely spot?
Survey is more studying documents, so I suppose.
It's how you want to argue it, really.
Yeah.
Okay, well, survey or study is about the same for me, so I'll go with one of those two.
Brilliant. 3. Ooh, it's a tricky one. You're looking around, trying to find the way down. It would seem that none of the doors on this vessel, they're all these big metal doors with big devices on them. They've got a big wheel that you have to turn. They're not labeled. And you find some of them have seized up and don't even move. So you can make it inside deck 1, where you are now, but you can't find anything anywhere that's going down right now. There's so many doors on this deck that, yeah, you can't quite figure out which door it is you need to go through. But with a 3, that's a failure, though. And unfortunately, in looking around, you hear a and the boat just rocks a little bit. I'm going to start a clock. The clock is called The Deep Awakens. It has 8 segments. And 1 segment is being filled in.
So Vixen thinks this is the way down, but the door is jammed or locked. Or
Yeah, you don't know which
disabled.
door it is, but yeah, there's doors and lots of these doors in here, except for the ones that lead out to the main deck. they're all locked. They're all jammed. You need to find some way of opening them.
It's Grimlyn's job then, isn't it? You got some way of getting through these?
Grimlyn's good at the smashing.
Well, let's not blow a hole in the boat, but
She's got sledgehammer sometimes. Just need to blow a hole.
she likes blowing holes in things.
Indeed.
Or Jellybean's got finesse, could potentially lockpick if we think it's something like that.
So you don't see any locks. You just see these big wheels that need to be wrenched. I think we are still struggling to hear you, Grimlyn. I don't know.
Yeah, there's no sound at all.
No, I think it's picking up that there is sound, supposed to be sound coming,
It
but
is
we're not
not.
actually hearing it.
Flashing, but
I think it's probably just your Discord from the sound of it. You went a little bit robotic just before you sort of cut out completely.
could try shutting down Discord and rejoining.
Yes. Well, you're all currently
Check
on the
it's
main.
mic as well.
You're all currently on the main deck of this boat, and you have to find, in theory, either a way up or a way down. But as you say, Larkin, using your spirit powers may cause unwanted attention. Almost certainly will. I mean, you don't know because you've never, unless you want to have used your powers outside the spirit field before. But it's not something that would very often happen.
No.
Lots of people don't go outside the spirit field for good reason. It's dangerous. And you're aware, even now, even without using your various powers, you can feel the world of spirits is just so much not more vibrant, but you can feel it around you. You can feel these entities, both some benevolent, some very malevolent, all swirling and screaming.
And I'm right in thinking that the reality of ghosts is that they are terrifying, aren't they? People are aware of them, but unless you have a certain sort of talent, you know, they are just terrifying to everybody. Whether
you
they
will
are
take
nice
trauma.
or not. Yeah. So I kind of will, well, say, look, I'm not being funny about this, but we are sitting on a powder keg. One spark in the wrong place, and it is unlikely that any of us are going to get off here. It has probably happened to the crew. Either they locked themselves in down there. Foolish, really. It's not going to stop ghosts, spirits, and the like. Or something worse has happened. I mean, we can hear the thing below. People don't want to anchor here. Me doing this might give us an idea where it is, but it doesn't going to help us get through this door. So let us get through the door. Let's go downstairs. Let us have a look first, as fast as we can. And if I have to do anything, I will. But I'm saving myself to stop them coming rather than to invite them.
Perhaps I can try and check for tracks and things on the deck to see if there's a particular door we need to open, or at least narrow it down a bit.
That's a very good idea. What role would you like to give me, Vixen?
I think tracking targets would be hunt.
Yep, that sounds like a good one to me. Roll me your hunt. Okay, 4 and a 5.
Has
So
+1 effect
Yeah. Ah, okay. You get +1 effect. That's very good then. So, yeah, you spot a specific door, and it looks very much like everybody went through a certain door. You can see lots of commotion actually, and you can see that it looks like furniture was moved out of the way and things like that. And this one door is the door that leads down, or at least the door that everyone went through. However, you rolled a 4 and a 5. Now, where you are at the moment, you are in a risky position. So, you figure this out, but you make a lot of noise doing so. So if there is anything else on this ship, they may now be aware that you're here. So, yes. But you know which door to go through. However, the door is indeed stuck.
Anybody able to get through this door? I mean, I can give it a smash. I can tinker with it, basically. I can twist the handle and see whether it is jimmied on the other side. I'm not brute force, but I mean, in my toolkit over here for the big thing I've been working on, I've had to have a few wrenches and stuff.
I think that's our best option at the moment. It's not like we're going to alert them through the tinkering. I've already done that.
Well, I mean, let's face it. If they're hiding downstairs, they're more scared of what's up here.
So, sounds like you're going to give me a tinker roll.
Yeah, so I'm going to happy to use one of my slots of load if you want.
Yeah. If you've got anything you want to use,
I'm
if you've
going
got
to
any
pull
tools
out
you can
this
use.
massive wrench.
Yep.
Which marries up with what I've got in all my other things.
Yep.
And I'm going to use that to tinker.
Brilliant.
Does anybody want to help me? I have 2
Can I
slots.
help?
Oh, yeah.
You can help indeed.
You are back.
Yeah, I've switched to my phone, so apologies if the video is a little bit shaky.
No, it's much better to have you with audio. I'm just going to try and tinker with.
Well, is there something you can do to help Grimlyn with this tinker? He's tinkering with the door. So are you going to take a stress to give him an extra dice, or?
Is that the only way that I can aid him? Because wrecking is my preferred.
Yeah, now you're back. If you want to take over, I'm happy to wreck on that. And
yeah, if you want to. Yeah, if you want to push him out of the way with his big spanner and wreck it.
It's a tool. I was using my big tool, and I'm very proud of my big tool.
To be fair, Grimlyn is going to start with, crowbar and work up from there. I feel like these doors are not subtle doors, and therefore, finessing tools are not really a thing.
Now remember, everybody, you have flashbacks, you have pushing yourself, you have devil's bargains. You can ask for a devil bargain, or I can offer one. But at the moment, things seem all right. You're in a risky position because of where you are, but yeah, things seem all right. So let's go with, unless you want to push yourself, so you take 2 stress and get an extra dice, or anyone wants to help and take a stress and you get an extra dice, roll me your wreck.
I mean, I'm happy to just do it. I feel like Grimlyn likes to break stuff. So, I mean, thing. This door may not be a very useful door from here on in, but so I will roll my wrecking dice. Hopefully the dice are nicer to me than last time.
They are indeed. You've got a 6 and a 1. and the 6 is what we're after, because and I think you'll have to tick off a box of load as well for your crowbar, if you're going to be using a crowbar on it, which helps increase the effect. So you use this this crowbar on this door, and whereas Larkin was going to go at it with the wrench approach, you just and the door just clang and opens inwards, revealing a dark ship staircase. You know, the kind that are nearly vertical, going down into a very, very dark and slightly strange smelling area. You need to take some light down to see. Someone did bring light with them, didn't they?
What is the sort of technology level here? I've seen on the load list I can have like a pair of fine pistols, but can they have like a flashlight on them?
You can have a lamp, the oil lamps are the sorts of things you would have. That's just like a box of load. If it's not in your list, you can have it, and I'll tell you how many boxes you tick off. But to have an oil lamp, it's 1 box of load.
Okay, my Vixen will tick off a box of load for that.
Brilliant. So yeah, Vixen produces an oil lamp, which removes some of the gloom and gives you a reassuring amber glow. Makes you feel a little better maybe, but not much, as cutting through every few minutes or so is a So who's going down the stairs first?
Unfortunately, I think as with a light source, that's probably Vixen.
I think it probably is. Okay, so how are you going down the stairs? What are you doing? Are you just walking down them? Are you trying to sneak? Well, I mean, you've got the lights, so sneaking is going to be hard.
No, after all the noise, I'm just going to be having a death grip on one hand on the sort of rail for the stair.
Yeah.
With the lamp lifted up and peering around.
Is anyone else following, or is anyone staying up on the deck?
I'll follow behind.
Wonderful. What about you, Larkin?
I'm going to stay in this at the top of the stairs, and I'm going to start undoing my bags and start getting out some of my equipment ready.
Okay, brilliant. And Jellybean, what are you doing?
I'll wait and see what happens.
Okay. So, Grimlyn and Vixen, you go down the stairs and you are on deck -1. There is a corridor down here with a number of doors off this corridor. You see a galley, you see a few crew quarters, and you see a door at the end, which looks like, again, it goes down. But this one looks like it's slightly ajar. What do you want to do?
Ready, Grimlyn?
Yeah. Grimlyn has not let go of the crowbar yet.
No. How is Grimlyn holding this crowbar? Is it protectively, or is it
Definitely
just
a two-handed, ready to smash something, whether that's something that comes at them or a door. Optional.
Okay. So, are you going to be investigating any of these rooms? I said you've got a mess, and you've got 2 lots of crew quarters, and a door going down again.
I think Grimlyn would want to know that there's nobody in any of those rooms before we kind of carry on, because I don't fancy getting surprised.
Are you going to use a roll for this?
Yeah, can I use what's the one again? Prowl to do it stealthily.
I'll allow that, yes. I will
so that I
that.
don't attract as much attention, hopefully.
Yep. Give me a prowl roll then. Ooh. Unfortunately, with your prowl roll of 3, you make a lot of noise. Now, I will tell you, because you can't see anyone in these rooms, you don't see anyone in these rooms. But I'm going to fill in another section of the clock. The deep awakens. So, yes, you are another step closer to whatever it is awakening and dealing with that. So, Vixen.
Vixen was going to continue looking around for more tracks and signs of where the crew has gone, I believe.
You did really well with your hunt roll before, so I'm not going to make you roll again. You see the tracks all go towards this door at the back. But it's at this point you do also spot in the mess on some of the tables flecks of blood. And all the tables have kind of been pushed back a little bit, like some kind of kerfuffle happened.
Hey, I think at this point Vixen's going to put the lantern down for a moment, pull out a pair of lovely fine pistols and load them with the electroplasmic ammunition.
Wonderful. That's very, very good. Yes, you've got your pistols readied. So, what's next? Do you wish to proceed down to the next level down?
Well, I'm going to have a glance back first and see what Jellybean and Larkin are doing.
Well, they're upstairs. They are upstairs at the moment. You can't see them. The moment you went down these stairs, you lost sight of them.
Right. So much for a crew, huh?
You can call us down. I'm not being quiet. There seems to be a little bit of swearing and Jelly, just help me with it. Oh, ow, oh, ow. Not there.
Perhaps they're better not to be disturbed.
Yeah, how does Jellybean help Larkin? Actually, let's go straight back upstairs. So, Larkin, obviously you don't have to reveal too much, but you're putting something together.
But yes, Jellybean can see, and assuming you're going to help, I start pulling out first a couple of very large boots, and the boots are heavily weighted. In fact, you think the soles of them are like made of lead or something. Out come some sort of trousers, and it's kind of some kind of suit or device or suit device. Out of another one comes a huge sort of bowl-like helmet, as I am constructing some kind of combination of deep sea diver suit combined with a personal ghost field. For all of you who knows what Big Daddy in the video game looks like, if it is okay with you, Game Master, it looks very similar to that. It's bulky, it's clumsy, and quite possibly has no in-game effect whatsoever. But this is the entirety of my load and what I was tinkering on, and I'm going to need assistance to fully suit up.
Yeah, well, that's a good one for Finesse potentially to help get these buckles and bits put together.
Yeah. So give me a finesse roll then, please, Jellybean, as you help Larkin get into his suit.
It's too heavy, apparently. I just can't.
Yeah, the buckles are really heavy. I mean, you are a small child, and doing these big leather buckles is rather difficult for you.
Hence my ouch, not there.
Yeah,
I kind of, that was advanced storytelling. I'm very skilled.
Shut up, Barkin.
Yeah. We've all got some.
I think you're sucking the air out of this. Yeah, I can't breathe.
Being such a baby.
I'm turning blue at the moment.
And because of the loud noises, another section is being filled in the Deep Awakens. But it's fine for now. You've got quite a few segments left. It's all right. And yes, while on deck one, the big daddy and the little sister are standing one side by side. Do not give her a large syringe. Down on deck -1, we have Grimlyn and Vixen. You have the mess, the blood-stained mess hall. You have the 2 crew quarters, which they are a right state as well. But there's no people in any of these. And you've got the door leading down.
I suppose first things first is to call up. We've got blood down here. Some kind of... Well, it's not going well. Are you coming down?
Well, you don't seem to be imminently attacked, so yes, let's go.
So, Jellybean and Larkin, you go down to join the 2
smash
now.
my head on the door, forgetting that I'm so big now.
How are you? I only want 1 roll from you for this, but to maneuver this thing around, I do require a roll because it's it's a big thing. So I just pick a skill that you think you would use. If it could be any of your skills.
Well, I think I've been tinkering. I've been working on this for a while. So I'll use tinker if that's okay with you.
Okay, I would like to offer you a devil's bargain.
I'll
should
take
you
it.
wish to take it?
I always take devil's bargains.
You can
fun.
have an you can have an extra dice here, but you are right in that this will give you your own personal ghost field and all that entails. There may be unwanted, unthought of side effects for having your own personal ghost field on this thing.
Perfect. Is Jellybean gonna sort of take my hand and help me down the stairs? I might have a big syringe I can give you at another day.
No.
You're not going to? Okay. So just the 3 dice then. I've got 2 in tinker.
Yep. And get the extra one.
3. My current stress is all over the place. It's 5 at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm going to increase it to 6 if I can.
Okay. Well, that would be 7 technically, because when you push yourself, you take 2 stress.
All right.
If someone else helps you, then they take 1 stress. If Jellybean wanted to help you,
no, it's fine. No, it's okay. You a little hesitant, which is fine. What's the critical mass of stress? Is it 9? Yeah, 7. 7 is much lower than 9. I'm going to increase that up to 7 and add myself 4 dice. I think it's appropriate that I try and move in this device.
Yep.
Wow. Well, it's okay. It's a 4. 4 and 5 is complicated, you know.
There's a complication there, yeah.
I've got 3 threes, which if we were playing brag, 3-card brag, that is the best that I could possibly get.
We are unfortunately not playing 3-card brag though. We are playing Blades in the Dark.
I can't argue
3 threes. No. No. You can't because I'm the GM. So what I say goes.
Yeah.
At least tonight. So with the 4, that is a success. So you are all right there. But it is with a complication, and the complication for you is that you fall down the stairs. So you move forward absolutely fine, and at the top of the stairs you think Jellybean's going to hold your hand. She doesn't, and you just go and the loud clanging is this big
had
diving
jelly.
suit. This big diving suit just lands face down. Now, the complication is not the noise because you don't take. You take level 1 harm stunned.
Okay.
From that.
Awesome.
So that's it though. You can get up. You figured out how to move in it. You just also have figured out you maybe don't want to rely on holding Jellybean's hand for anything.
And I'm more than happy. This thing is heavily weighted feet. I'm not going to be moving quite. I'm going to be making noise.
Yeah, you can all hear the boards creaking.
Yeah.
So you're all on deck -1. Deck -2 awaits, unless there's any other investigations anyone wants to do on this deck.
Probably not.
Can Jellybean look at the blood splatters? I mean, that's the kind of thing that you love. Perhaps work out what has gone on.
Yeah, all right. I mean, it's not really the same, but
I know you want to shiv somebody, but
you've got skills. So what skill would you like to use, Jellybean?
Well, I don't really have like survey or anything, or study. I don't have any insight skills.
You could argue one of your other ones though, if you want.
I think the only one I could probably get away with would be finesse, to try and look in detail at, as Barkin says, maybe the pattern. Does it look like someone's been shivved?
Okay.
Or just like they died and bled out?
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to allow that. Yes. Roll me your finesse.
Haha.
6 and a 4. Yeah, it looks like there was a big fight that happened here, and it does. The amount of blood doesn't tell you that someone bled out here. In fact, it tells you that someone was quite badly wounded here. But you don't think there was enough blood for them to have died. There were a number of people involved, possibly 5 or 6 crewmates involved in the fight in this room. You can't tell anything about aggressors or anything like that, but you can tell that they're 5 or 6 people, no fatalities, and judging by some of the scratch marks on the tables and the fact that now you notice and you cannot see any knives or anything like that in the kitchens, you heavily suspect that there was a lot of blades involved.
Which does not suggest ghosts.
Well, it suggests possession by ghosts, forcing the crew, friends and colleagues that trust each other to suddenly turn on each other. So possibly. I would counter your thing and say it definitely suggests ghosts to me.
Fair. It could be just one got possessed.
I think I might be bleeding in this suit. My feet have gone all squidgy.
So, Grimlyn and Vixen, you are kind of at the front. You've been taking the lead here. Where to next?
It's a jar door at the end of the corridor, I'm guessing. Cautiously, oil lamp in one hand, one of my pistols in the other.
Yep. And you get to the end of the corridor, and there's this steep stairs down. And when you get to this door and open it a little bit, there's this musty, almost cave-like smell coming from down below. You are almost certain that this smell is the smell of mushrooms. So do you head down?
Are we going down?
Pretty sure that's the only option.
So the floor -2 is a hold, and when you go down the stairs, you see boxes and boxes and boxes marked mushrooms. But
Anybody like mushrooms? I don't.
you hear a voice coming from the dark at the back. So this whole hold is filled with these boxes, and it's from behind some of the boxes at the far end from where you are at the moment. And it says, hello? Is anybody there?
Are you a ghost?
I don't think I am. I think I'm me. Yes, I am. I'm definitely me. Are you here to rescue me?
Not directly, but I suppose it could be involved.
Oh, good. I see. I'm awfully scared. You see, this place is not nice.
Are you the only one here?
Yes, everyone else left.
Left where?
Oh, they jumped overboard. I'm the only one left now. I'm the one that didn't go mad. You see.
So the others all went mad and jumped overboard.
Yes. And Vixen, sorry.
From the tracks that I've seen where everyone seemed to be going in this direction, do I assume that's incorrect? Or would it be safe to assume that's incorrect?
It's no. You've seen lots of tracks coming this way.
So what Vixen's saying there is that the tracks go towards this guy, not...
Yep. The tracks have all culminated and led to this point.
But we can't see anybody else.
No. You can't see this person. They're yeah.
No. Okay, well, I don't know if he's mad. Be careful. Well, why don't you come out then?
Oh, are you sure? Are you sure I'll be safe?
Well, we haven't encountered any other dangers here so far. No guarantee of anything, I suppose.
No.
It appears to be some kind of haunted death ship, but...
And you have a way off this ship back to the land, don't you? You have a way back. You definitely have a way back, don't you? You're not lying to me.
Well, we don't intend to stay here.
Well, I'm terribly sorry, but you may end up staying here. It says.
We were already prepared.
Out.
Ready for some shimming.
And yes, what you see is very strange. It's a human, but their eyes are glowing red. They seem a little taller than a human, and quite thin. They're wearing rags. It is difficult to tell sort of anything more about them. Their hair is sort of thin and wispy. Their teeth slightly pointy. Barkin, you as a man of the occult have a very big suspicion what this is. And what you suspect this is a vampire. Now, vampires in Blades in the Dark aren't like vampires in our world, no. When a spirit leaves a body, when a body dies, it has choices it can make. It can either be just a spirit, if it's got its wits about it. It can remain as a spirit once the host has died. Or it can go into a golem-like shell and become a husk. Or it can possess its old body. And if it does that, and the right things happen, it can become an immortal vampire. Vampires are something the spirit wardens really, really, really do not like. If they find out about a vampire, they will do everything they can to destroy it.
Sounds reasonable, to be honest.
This thing's standing in front of you. And its teeth are bared, and it's bearing down on you. Now, there are no initiatives or anything like that in Blades in the Dark, but this thing is going to try and attack you. So it's going to go for you. It's far enough away. You were all well prepared. So I'm happy for someone to take the lead, or for you all to do a group action, whatever you want to do. You've all got things ready for this. So discuss.
It's up to you. Would I know with that information that whilst very dangerous, we can deal with it? You did use the words immortal.
Yes, because the spirit is immortal. But if you manage to destroy the body enough, it'll just have to go and find another body. And, well, it might find one, it might not find one. But if you do enough damage to it, you might be able to destroy it, or you could capture the spirit as well and do something with the spirit.
So, I don't know. I know Jellybean, you're quite up for a bit of a scrap, which is good. It sounds very much like we can potentially do it damage. I can try and affect its spirit whilst you're trying to do harm to it. Vixen, you have your guns. And Grimlyn, I'm assuming you have some kind of munitions of sorts that can deal with the flesh. So I think we're fairly well placed. I mean, I'm not a physical character, but if you all feel it's worth the chance, I mean, I would say have at it in character.
Okay.
You know, if that's a reasonable assumption that my character would make, I wouldn't actively put them in danger if I thought this was perhaps a fight we could not fight.
So would that be a group action, Kristian, or would it be like a group apart from Andy? Or
you can always do a group action without a character. You can just do the people that have the dots in it. Remember that whoever leads it, they take the stress for the failures that happen.
Yeah.
So if anyone fails, so for the three of you, the maximum stress you could take is 3 if all 3 of you fail. But if one of you succeeds, you all succeed. So
do we all have to roll the same skill for that?
Yes, you do.
Because I guess mine would be finesse for fighting, but I guess Vixen, you might have more hunt or something.
I don't see why you can't just individually.
Yeah, exactly. So if we're not doing the same, then
we generally in Blades in the Dark, you do one roll for one action you're trying to do, though, which is why you wouldn't normally allow for that. I will allow it, though, if you all want to roll your own thing. If you're all going to attack it, I will be happy for you to all roll your own thing. But strictly speaking, generally, it's just one roll for one thing. But as you are all prepared, I think it would be very mean not to let you all use the things that you have prepared, your crowbar, your pistols, and your jellybean.
It's all that balance.
I do have another thought of what, as a flashback, what I might have prepared.
Ooh, yeah, brilliant.
I'm about to put us in real big danger. I'm sorry. So I think Grimlyn's thinking on preparation was the fact that there's the possibility that we have to sink the boat to kind of cover tracks, etc. So she would have prepared some special chemical oil that when it comes into contact will burn and will stay there. So they could have prepared through tinkering a device to be able to deliver that. But they would have to work with Jellybean, because Jellybean would have to distract them for Grimlyn to get close enough to put that on them.
Okay.
So I would be happy to use finesse.
We wouldn't necessarily want to blow the ship up yet, because our friends all want to loot stuff. But if it's putting it directly on them, that's So the other thing I was thinking as well is if we're as some load could be something a bit like a smoke bomb. So that I can put that down and then be like shiv from behind.
Yeah.
Well, so which plan do you want to go with? I'm happy with any of them really. You've got, but Grimlyn, you can use the flashback to have prepared one of those things. It would be a 1 stress flashback. You would have to give me a roll if you were creating that sort of thing. It's up to you really. What would you like to do, Grimlyn?
I don't mind. It
Which
depends if we'd have really talked about what we would have done on the ship if there was a problem and we were going to have to try and deal with the crew. Because
for you to have thought of preparing those chemicals as a way of covering tracks in some way.
Yeah. So yeah, give me a tinker roll, please, as you go back in the past. You take 1 stress, and we'll see how well you get these chemicals.
see if the dice like me this time.
I hope so. I want this to work. Oh, it's a 3 and a 1. You create a sludge. It doesn't apply very easily. It does burn well, but it doesn't apply very easily. It's basically you now have a beaker full of flammable sludge that doesn't, as in, it doesn't really pour. That's with a 3 and a 1.
Yeah.
Or with a 3.
Well, okay. How about I lead a group action on finesse?
Okay.
I mean, I'm happy to still do a flashback to get the smoke bomb.
Okay. Yep. How are you going to get the smoke bomb? Who are you going to get it from? You've got all your skills you could use to procure a smoke bomb.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've got sway, let's say, and some kind of getting into Father's library again to look at a book on what might be some compounds that will make a bit of a poof when pushed together.
Yep. Give me a sway roll then, please. The dice really hate you in flashbacks, don't they? You unfortunately still take the 1 stress. Your father is, as always, just like, "What are you doing here? Get out of the library. You should be doing your studies in your room, not in my private library, girl."
I need to study, Father.
Look, if I knew you'd be this much trouble, I would have shipped you off to boarding school. Go bother your mother.
Very well. I'll have to set off a stand or something then.
Yeah. Yeah. No, unfortunately, you don't manage to get any smoke bombs though. Okay. But you back in the present, no smoke bombs, and with a thick sludge that spreads like freezing cold butter.
Well, that'll be distracting when she still lobs it at him. So,
ow!
Yeah.
Just put it in your pocket and let Vixen shoot him with it, or her with it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I know you said group actions are always the same skill, but I don't know if it could be like a group combat pile-in where somehow Vixen uses his hunt instead. I don't know.
As I said, if you want to choose because you've got your crowbar and you can either do a group action which makes it more likely to succeed.
Yeah, I mean,
because only one of you has to succeed, but it's about making sure it's the skill that everyone either you can use or whatever. I mean, everyone can pile in with their things, and everyone's abilities will improve the effect, so it'll make it more effective against taking down this vampire. And as I said, if you take the body out, the spirit does get damaged too, and has to wait some time to recover. It doesn't come back immediately, so it won't be trying to immediately take over one of you. It takes time. So you can either lead a group action in a skill that you think everyone could do.
Yeah.
This vampire's just standing there.
Yeah, I think probably we don't have a joint skill, so.
So because our very kind game master has said, I think it just makes sense that whilst we're acting at the same time boss up here. Sorry.
Yeah.
As I say, as our very kind Jem has said, that it's kind of a group action, but instead of a single roll, I think fundamentally, Jellybean, you just shiv him up. Vixen, you just shoot him up. And Grimlyn, you either throw your sludge or you hit him with your crowbar. And we'll see what happens from there. I'm watching what's going on, watching the spirit, but I can't really do anything at the moment with this physical threat. So I'm not going to act in this instance.
No.
So pick your skill. Each one of you pick your skill. Let me know what you're rolling and roll it, please. So we'll start with Vixen. Vixen.
Okay.
That's
so
Vixen.
We're starting with Vixen.
sorry, that's me.
Vixen's using her fine pistols with the, what was it? Electroplasmic ammunition.
Indeed. Very good. Very, very good. This really increases the effect.
Would you care to offer me a devil's bargain?
Oh, I'd love to. So you can fire this ammunition in, but one of the rounds will pierce the hull, hastening this ship's demise.
Okay.
Great.
Take that.
So hull pierced is a new clock. It's got 4 segments. So if one segment gets filled in, you get an extra dice though.
Okay, let's give it a go.
Oh, you got a 6. That's fantastic. Yes. So that's 1 success against the vampire. As you basically describe how you're shooting it.
Quite startled at its appearance. Particularly flickering in the gaslight oil, slightly shaking my gun. Pause for half a second, glance around for lining the gun up. Hesitating for half a second, noting the rather frail wall, but just firing a couple of times, hoping to get rid of this creature.
Brilliant. So I'll describe what happens in a moment. But Grimlyn, you've got your crowbar. Are you going to attack it with your crowbar, or have you got anything else you want to attack it with?
I am going to use the crowbar. I'm going to go for the maximum damage approach of wrecking it.
Wonderful.
Which is going to basically look like she's going to kind of probably run and slide across the floor to be at a low level, and she's going to take the crowbar and she's going to aim at the front of the knees to see if she can push them to go in reverse.
Oh, yep. Okay. That's brilliant.
Wreck it. So
yeah. No, oh, it's amazing. Roll your wreck. That description is going to have a good effect. A 5 and a 3. 5's good. Yep. So with your 5, the complication is I'll fill in another in the deep awakens because of the noise that the vampire is going to be making when its knees go in reverse. And now after that, and seeing Jellybean's face, Jellybean, how are you shiving?
Well, he's probably been brought a little bit more down to my height right now.
Yes, yeah.
So the teeth look nasty, so I'm going to be trying to get behind him.
Yep.
And well, as my load literally gives the option for a blade or 2, let's go for the 2.
Yes.
Pull out the nasty little shivs.
Yep, brilliant.
So finesse roll, I guess.
Yep. Falls all right. Again, I'll take another box in the Deep Awakens because here's how this happens. Yes, Vixen, your guns go off and this vampire bits of its shoulder kind of with these glowing ectoplasmic rounds. It screams in pain as that happens. as Grimlyn comes in and reverses its knees, to which it then kind of falls forward a little bit. It goes, oh, and oh, ah, and then Jellybean, you come in with the shiv and just, and you get it in just the right point in the back as this whole body just crumples to the ground. You hear the sound of water filling the hold. It's rushing in from the side of the hull as, this unfortunately has caused problems. The bullets caused problems. And as it falls down, it kind of knocks one of the boxes, and you can hear a coming from one of the boxes. It sounds like a scream.
Sounds a bit ghosty to me. Get on it.
Yeah, a little bit, but not fully. But yeah, you've taken out the vampire.
Well done, crew. Knew you could do it. What's in that box? You want me to have a look?
Yep.
I'm kind of wading through this water now, sort of with these heavy boots on.
Yeah.
Probably
Brilliant, yeah.
knocking many other boxes over because I'm bulky. Not deliberately, just clumsily.
That's good.
These big gloves reach out for this box.
Yeah, and you reach out for this box, and it's a big box full of mushrooms, but it's been broken, so some of the as the vampire's fallen down, some of the mushrooms have fallen out, and you can just make out inside another box.
Does it kind of look like what we're looking for, or?
It does, yeah, it does.
More mushrooms.
Well, tentatively reach out, trying to not damage it.
Yeah. So you reach out and you can push some of the mushrooms out of the way that seem to be cushioning this box really well. And you can retrieve this large flat box. It's only about sort of 2 inches deep. It's made of wood. So it's about sort of 1.5 feet wide, a foot deep. And it is emblazoned on the top with the initials KF. And you were told that it would have something inside it. You can open it if you wish to.
I'm afraid with my big, pudgy, gloved fingers, I may need some help.
All right, I can help with that.
Okay, so Jellybean, you unlatch the box.
I don't mind holding it for you to do it. I'm not scared of the box or worried about opening it myself. It's not practical.
So as you open the box, Jellybean, you see that there's not one jade charm in this box, but 4 jade charms.
Drink.
He did say charms though, didn't he? He didn't say.
No, I don't think he did specify.
I thought he did. I thought he said charms. I don't know whether that was.
I don't know if he didn't specify a specific number or not.
He specified 1, but he did say charms occasionally.
Yeah.
That's more of a GM problem than anything else.
Okay, yeah. So no, I'm happy with if he only said 1 charm, then.
Yeah, he was hinting that there's only 1 that he knew of.
Yeah.
And one of the charms, as it's near you, Larkin, is whispering. You can just hear it's sort of from the charm. It's going, and from one of the other charms, it's this sort of sound. Not loud, not very loud, just loud enough that you can hear it.
Do I need to make a roll to kind of judge what I think these are?
Yeah. Yeah. What would you like to use? You've got a number of skills, Larkin.
Study, is that studying or is it having studied?
No, it's studying or could be having studied. It can be however you want to interpret it for that role. Make an argument.
Sort of the occult and of ghosts
Yeah.
and spirits and
You-
all of that.
Yeah, give me a study roll then, please.
Okay, only 2 dice.
Yeah.
5.
Okay, a 5 is good. So, now you've seen them, now you've seen what's happening, you suspect that these charms have an effect when they are in the presence of certain things.
Mhm.
You suspect that there is certain things like ghosts, demons, vampires that trigger certain sounds. And it's near you, one of them's near you and is whispering. And the one closest to, when it's moved nearer to the vampire, the shouting gets louder. When it's moved away from the vampire, the shouting gets quieter. Same with you, when you move the one that whispers away, it gets quieter. And when you move the one that whispers to you, it gets louder. The 2 others don't seem to be doing anything at the moment. One's got a sort of a faint glow, but it's very faint.
So I think these are sort of tracking charms, location,
Yeah.
identification of. I mean, these sound useful, especially to
Mm.
spirit wardens, as opposed to something that they would want to destroy.
Either way, we don't want them to be the ones guessing it, I suppose.
Well, let's close it up, and I mean, this is what we're after. Let's get out of here. We might have to tell the. I'm concerned that this ship is going to sink. I'm concerned of what's underneath the water as well. So
if they're going to get looting, hopefully they were already looting, and they can finish up their looting.
Yeah.
I mean, does it look like there's anything else in any of these mushrooms that might have been knocked over, or are they just smuggling this one item?
Well, actually, you can give me a roll actually to see if you can find anything else. But you have to give me a roll.
Yeah, I'm not particularly. That would be a casual look as far as I'm concerned. We've got what we're after. But if
You see a load of
wants-
boxes.
Yeah.
Casually, you see that without taking them apart and spending time. If someone wants to do that, if someone wants to give me a roll or to speed it up or whatever, you can do that. But remember, sorry,
I can help if you want.
well, does anyone want to take? Is anyone curious about any of the other boxes of mushrooms and whether they contain just mushrooms or other things?
Well, yeah, that's what I assume we're hoping. If Andy's going to have a proper look through.
that was just a question. If in a sort of just a quick glance, whether there was, we've got what we're after. I think we should just get out of here. We are on a clock, after all.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes.
So I know this sounds a little bit odd, but are all the mushrooms the same type of mushroom, and do we know what type of mushroom they are?
Yeah. So these are the standard food mushroom. A lot of basically for everyone that's not in the upper classes, mostly what you eat is mushrooms. There are different varieties, but this is kind of your basically like your closed cup, just your standard bog standard mushroom that everyone uses as a staple.
Okay.
I think it may perhaps be worth searching a box or two to try and get an item just to sort of appease.
All right. Well, you start doing that. I'll start getting this box up. And now I'm a slow moving in this suit. It's going to be useful, I'm sure of it, as I bang into another box by accident.
Yeah, definitely best if you get going. I agree.
Which is the way. I kind of lost my sense of direction in here. It's all fogging up.
It'll be dark too.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think I am drinking my own sweat.
Okay, well, if Vixen's gonna do the looking through the box, I will help Barkin work his way back up.
Yeah. So the two of you going back up, that's fine. I'm not going to make you roll for that one because he's already rolled to move around. So Vixen, what are you going to do to look in these boxes? Is there any special skills you want to do? Is there anything Grimlyn can do to help you look in boxes? I'm more thinking around, there are a lot of boxes. You have a crowbar. Like, what approach do you want to take here?
Want to brute force them open, sort of, to do that, and I'll help you with it.
Ways.
Brilliant.
Ways
So,
brute force them open.
Grimlyn, can you choose a skill? I'm assuming it's going to be rec, but I don't want to be presumptuous.
No, it is indeed going to be wreck.
And yeah, if you're helping, take a 1 stress, please, Vixen.
Oh, do I need to roll another dice if Vixen's helping?
Yes, you do, and I hope it's more than a 3.
More than a 3.
That is not more than a 3. So I'm filling in another box of hull pierced, unfortunately. At this point, you hear Jellybean and Barkin on the next floor up. You could hear Barkin just clanking along. This hull is filling up. You probably have time to do one. If you have it. You probably don't have the time to keep looking through the boxes, unfortunately. It's the whole, this is filling up pretty quickly, and you reckon now you've not got long to try and get up. But you find a lot of mushrooms, and you've currently created mushroom soup in the hold.
Time to go then, I guess. We tried.
And so you head all back up, and you realize when you get onto the main deck that the crew of the Foghound have stripped the deck in its entirety. You notice that there was a bridge. There now is an empty cabin. And on the Foghound, there is a lovely new steering, lovely new ship's wheel, a sextant, and other bits of navigational materials. You also notice somehow that they've salvaged the chimney off the top. And when you get back aboard, and Larkin, you basically get on the gangplank just as the other ship starts to tip and go down, as you're moving slowly up this gangplank, and the ropes have been released, and there you are being helped onto the ship as this other ship's sinking deep into the waves. Bubbles come up as the ship sinks, and Margette says to you all, I really hope there's no one down there. I mean, we're outside the ghost field, so we're not got to worry about it, but I really hope there was no one on that ship.
I don't think there was.
Oh, thank goodness. Right. Well, it's time to head back. I think we should be able to get you back to docks without any major problems. But I mean, my crew's all going to be working securing the load, so I'm going to need someone to help keep lookout and find a good dock to sort of moor in, because otherwise we might end up with problems. I think from what I've heard that the blue coats and spirit wardens are after whatever it is you're after, so I want to make sure that we're not about to get raided by the blue coats. So yeah, if one of you could, help out and go up in the crow's nest. You notice that there isn't a crow's nest. There's just a spot up by the chimney that you could hang on to. Probably not you, Clanky.
Do you
Vixen,
have
watching?
if we are approached by blue coats or whatever, do they have tugs, or will they wait for us on the docks?
Oh, they're lazy. They'll wait on the docks.
Right. So it don't matter then. You don't
They
need
do
them.
have boats, but they don't go into the bay very often.
Who's got the best eyes then? That's you, Vixen. Up you go.
Okay then.
So you're showing up to the crow's nest, I said, which is just a little spot by the chimney, where there is a rope to hold on to. The boat goes back through the ghost field. You feel very weird, Larkin, when you go through the ghost field, go through the lightning field, because you've got your own lightning field around you, and it's like it's not compatible. And as you go back through the lightning field, it's like your personal one is stripped away and is left with the lightning field.
Mm-hmm.
But you suspect that if you went back out again in this thing again, you would find that the lightning field would, if you pass through it, it might come back. You're also very acutely aware when you do pass through the lightning field that a number of spirits that were uncomfortably close to you suddenly move away from you. It was like you had things latched onto you or trying to latch onto you that you were completely unaware of because of this field. And no one else in the party was aware of it. And the moment you pass through and it disappears, you see all these small spirits just kind of frazzle in the lightning field. It seems that it probably did you some good.
Nah.
Everyone wanted a piece of Larkin.
Mm.
So, Vixen, tell me, how are you going to find a good spot for them to moor?
I think the only thing I can really look for is survey.
Brilliant. And give me a survey roll, please.
Stress. I think I'm going to have to push myself on this.
Brilliant. Take 2 stress. Oh, you do not find a good spot. That all the berths, well, all the berths have some kind of activity around them. So it's very difficult to find one that's not particularly patrolled by the bluecoats. You can make a good guess, but really it is at that point a good guess. You can just say, oh, they're all the same. Would you think about pointing one out? Or would you say, how would you tell to the captain?
There's activity around all of them. There doesn't look to be any docks clear at the moment.
Right. Best get your pals up together then. And she calls you down from the crow's nest and calls Grimlyn, Jellybean, and probably calls you first, Larkin, so you can, start moving first. Right. Well, it sounds like there's no good place for us to moor. I really don't want, given all the salvage I've just taken off the other boat, I really don't want the bluecoats coming on my vessel and stealing all my stuff. So I need to get you off this ship to land as soon as possible. So if you've got any ideas, that's fine. Otherwise, I'll moor up. But if you, I'm open at this moment.
Well, this dink, 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 dink. I reckon there's enough air for a few minutes or so. Probably more if someone smaller was inside it. I look at Jellybean. I think that's how it works.
I don't think she'd be able to move in it, would you? Looks heavy.
No, he's being ridiculous.
Oh.
Sorry, Vixen, you want to have a go?
Flashback can be too stress, can't it?
It can be, depending on what you need or want.
I mean, I've got all sorts of body fluids in here now.
What about your flashback, Vixen?
I would... well, Vixen may end up retiring from this, but we'll see. I'd like to do a flashback to speak with Tracy, my contact to spy, to see if there's any sort of off-the-record docks, sort of caves or things that can be used to sort of...
Brilliant. That is absolutely fantastic. What skill are you going to use with Tracy?
I think Sway, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Sway sounds good.
Can't push myself, so...
A 6. That's what we like. So, Tracy is, as I said, Tracy, you've treated Tracy very well recently, very, very well. The two of you going spas and you know, looking after each other. And she knows you wouldn't ask unless you really needed something. And she says, well, I do have somewhere, yes. See, in the docks, there's a dock that's not a dock. It's a warehouse on the water. But if you approach it, the doors will open for you with just a gentle push. It's designed for you to get a ship in there quietly. And yes, if you don't have any intention to get the ship back out again quickly. For everyone else, it'll just look like you've gone round the bay, but you'll know you've gone in this building. It's quite ingenious how it all works. Not often used these days. We, in the agency, we don't, in the ministry, we don't have much use for it. Don't do too many sailing things anymore. It's all on the rail. So yes, I'll put in a good word for you. Make sure that no one's going to be using it. And if you need to use it in the next couple of days, it's all yours. No questions asked.
Thank you, Tracy. You always come through for me when I need you.
Well, you go find a good spa for us to go to next. This has made me feel rather stressful, she says, knowing that the next time it's on you again. But you know of this location, this barn, not this warehouse where if they put the ship towards it, the boat towards it, the doors will just open inwards and swallow it up as if nothing had ever happened, and you'll be safe in a warehouse with a dock.
I will put that forward then.
So
Well,
is that a no to the suit then? I was just merely indicating it's definitely watertight.
If you would like to try your way, Larkin, you could do.
No, I don't like the water.
Right, so I'll take the boat over there, and then from you, for your part, it's getting it up to wherever you need to take it. And well, I mean, it's been an absolute pleasure working with you guys because, you know, we've got a lot of stuff off that boat, and we can sell it for quite a few coin. I mean, normally our racket's smuggling, but it's nice to make some allies, if we can call you allies.
Well, longer-term relationships are always beneficial.
What's your gang name?
I think we've got one, have we?
The wrecking crew.
The Wrecking Crew. The Wrecking Crew.
It's a work in progress, but it definitely sums up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, for now, we'll call you the Wrecking Crew until you tell us otherwise. But you've made a friend of the Foghounds today, and we don't forget our friends. Of course, if you should ever side with the Vultures on anything, we'll have to come after you. But I don't think you'll do that. We're the stronger ones.
They didn't seem a good rival to you.
A bunch of charlatans. Well, they're not anymore.
I hope it burned their place down.
Ah, yeah, we burned their place right to the ground. Of course, they got out of it. You know, creating spirits is not the easiest thing in the world, but we burnt it down. It's, you know, our specialty.
Well, we take on jobs for coin as well, so...
Hey, that's good to know. That's good to know. We'll, maybe speaking to you in the future if there's anything mutually beneficial. Although, as I say, I'd advise not get into the smuggling racket because, well, that's our turf. We won't step on your toes if you don't step on ours.
We are asked to retrieve items from time to time, but it tends to be more like this kind of work, I suppose, rather than.
Of course, if you need something smuggled,
Well, indeed.
we'd like to hope you come to us first. Right, we'll get the ship in, and the boat is sailed towards this warehouse, and it's just like Tracy described. There's large double doors. It's a big warehouse on the dock. It just looks like a building that's been built on sort of the stone docks. But as it approaches these doors, the doors just kind of open as the hull goes against it, and the boat goes in. And then once it's through, the doors automatically close. And on the inside, you can see there's a big spring that makes them close again. And the lamps have been lit. There's a small dock in this warehouse where you can unload. And a cart and a goat have even been provided for you.
Vixen, your friend, has done a very nice job.
How difficult is it going to be to get it back in now?
Well, we've got a dilemma as well. He said only one charm.
Do you want one?
Well, it's not a case of wanting one. Do we give him 4 for 10? Or do we give him 1 for the 10? Keep the rest for ourselves? Might be useful.
Yeah, we could give him 1 and see if that's what he's expecting. And then if he's not expecting more, we could say, and there were a couple more if you'd like to buy those too.
Perhaps the spirit one may be useful considering what was going on in our last job.
Well, the difficulty is expecting it to do one certain thing. Trying to think back to the words that he was using, especially when I asked about why is it illegal. Do I think, or do we think it is one of these charms specifically?
You think that he didn't know.
He didn't know.
Right. Okay. He bought, he's purchased these without having seen them. He thought he was purchasing one for a client. So he's tried to smuggle these into the country for a client. And you think that he doesn't fully understand what it is, what it does, or anything. Because as you say, the spirit wardens would probably love these.
How about we give him the 1 and we try and find the client that he's doing, and we sell it to him. If he's paying us 10 coins to retrieve this, he's getting much more than 10 coins for the sale.
Are we worth alienating one of our potential future hires over this? Perhaps try and upsell it. We give him the 1 and
we do
have
the talking.
2 coins per.
I'm not going to argue the point. I'm just merely pointing out that there are 4 areas only saying the 1. I'll leave it with you. I'll kind of start stripping this suit off me.
So, are you going to take the goat and cart up to Brightstone and up to his shop?
Believe so.
Cool. So, because you used your contact, you've made sure that essentially you've got transport that looks very nondescript. It's a cart, as in not an open cart. It's a carriage, I should say. And all you need is one person to operate it. Can anyone drive a carriage?
I mean, probably. I've probably been taken out riding on a horse at least. I don't know if I'm allowed to ride to do the carriage as opposed to riding.
Yeah, you would probably know how to do a carriage as well. Give me a roll. Use a skill.
Finesse, I suppose. Try and make
Sounds good.
Movements required.
Give me a finesse roll.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So, yes, that is very, very good. You you drive the cart, and you know it's you do hear a few mumbling of another rich girl driving a cart around the city. Bloody hooligans! And you take the cart up to the shop. It's an antique shop up in Brightstone, and it's called Scratcher's Antiques. And when you get up there, it is what passes for daytime in Duskville, and you can all head out and into the shop.
Before we go in, are we in agreement we want to sell all four? Is there any specific one we want to keep or anything like that?
I'm more than happy to do whatever you think is best. There's no reason. These are items that are very useful, but very specific in their use, and we are the wrecking crew, so plus if you've got these you have no need of me.
But if you have them, you can expand your skill set potentially, or your toolbox. But I think you're the only one who would have use of them, so if you don't want any, that's fine.
Trinkets. I've got my suit.
The direct possession route.
So, you go into the shop then, and Scratcher comes out of a back room as you go through. The door goes, a bell tingles. The shop is filled with antiques. There's rocking horses and various bits of furniture, chairs, dining tables, wardrobes. There are vases and just all the regular stuff you'd find. It's all piled high. There is a counter though, a glass counter with some jewelry in it. And he comes out from a back room when you arrive in. He goes, yes, good to see you all. Good to see you. My word, you're back a lot sooner than I thought. And you're back. That's a good sign. Do you have the box? You have the box. Well, this is good.
Isn't it?
So, I believe I said it was 10 coin.
Yes, 10 coin for the 1 jade token, correct?
Yes.
Well, would you perhaps be interested in purchasing more?
Well, that depends on my client. I mean, I would take them all off, well, however many you have off your hands, if that were possible, but that does depend on the client. For they were the one footing the money for this. I would have to ask them what they would pay for more. How many do you have?
You managed to find 4 within that ship.
My word. My word. I mean, obviously you can keep hold of them, but can I see them?
Were they with Barkin?
No. I think I'll pass the box on. If you want me to be holding it, I'll show them him. They showed to him.
So, if you're showing them Larkin, the one that whispers is whispering. The one that was glowing is no longer glowing. There's none of them that are warm. The guy says, well, Well, I can ask the client. Yes, I'll ask the client.
Well, you might as well. It's keen to have that one. I'm sure he'd like more. And if not, we'll find someone else.
Yes, let me ask the client. And he goes to the bell pull. He goes to a bell pull and pulls it. And you hear a sound getting louder. You hear the sound of footsteps on steps coming down the stairs, the back stairs. And then this screaming sound from the jade trinket gets louder and louder. Stepping out of the back room, a small figure in a black dress with hair, iron grey hair in a bun, with an all too familiar look as she regards you all and says, "Hello, Poppets.
Auntie Helen.
It's your Auntie Helen." And that is where I will stop for the night.
Oh, very good.
Very good ending. Excellent.
Well, thank you very, very much for playing, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And yes, yeah, we shall have to see. There will be a next time, hopefully, if you're all willing to play again.
Yeah.
I
think we've already said the date, haven't we?
Yes.
July. So, could you remember what we said?
No.
No.
But
back end of July, I think.
Yeah, but Kyle, you had your hand up then.
Yes, I need to know how much stress I've taken Vixen for the flashback to see if I need to bring a different character.
It would. Well, you only go out for the session, so I think for that one, because you're talking to your friend, it would only be one.
Okay, so I'm just on 8 rather than 9 then.
Yeah, it would only have been one to talk to your friend. Not too stressful for that one. But yes, so at some point in July, we are so very, very organised. We will be doing
the 18th, I think.
It is Tuesday, the 18th of July. We will be doing the next one.
Perfect.
So yes, we will be entering the world again and finding out just how and why and what is going on with Auntie Helen standing in front of you all again.
Absolutely. I can hardly wait. Looking forward to it already.
So I want to say a big thank you to Andy for letting me DM again, and big thank you to all his players for joining me tonight. Obviously, otherwise it would just be me sitting in a room talking to myself, which is what I normally do on Tuesdays anyway. So yes, all that leaves me to say is a big thank you to everyone that's watching. I hope you've enjoyed it as well. If you haven't seen the other ones, please go back and watch the other ones. If you haven't seen anything else going on the channel, please watch it. Andy does lots of games at the moment. He does Candela Obscura, which I hope I pronounced correctly, and Shadow Dark, lots of Shadow Dark. And I would also recommend checking out Andy and Matt Beamsy's products on DriveThruRPG, because they're also very good.
Thank you very much for that.
But over to you, Andy.
Wow.
For the last bit. I can go to sleep now.
Yeah, I just want to say a big thank you to you, obviously, for GMing. Had a fantastic time again. I almost said a whale of a time, but that was perhaps a little too close with that Leviathan sort of breathing. It's brilliant to play and to play with you all. Thank you very much for letting me put a completely crazy costume on during the game for no real particular reason. I didn't really care whether it worked or not, but I just thought it'd be fun. So I loved that. Before we go, just quick favourite bits of the game. I kind of like to do this. Sort of moments that you had the most fun with. How about you, Rachel?
Ooh, that's tricky.
You got to shiv someone up this time.
Yeah, I mean, certainly Jellybean's favourite moment was definitely be actually getting in there as we know, the normally very restricted in Blades of the Dark. You can't kill anybody, but here we were out of range of the wardens, and does a vampire even count anyway? So yeah, hopefully that was good for us all to pile in there, and vampire thinks it's going to have us, and it certainly did not. But I like that we made good allies with the crew.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
Yeah.
How about you? See, I would do normally Kyle, but I'm going to do Sarah.
I mean, I think I'm with Rachel that, making friends with somebody who has kind of a whole different skill set than we currently have is great. I really enjoyed the very tense, let's go down different levels of the ship. It's really dark. Who can see what? Oh dear, this could be really difficult. Because that's quite tense, particularly when only one person has a light. So yeah, I think that was favourite kind of thing for me. And apologies for my technical issues.
As I always say, we do this on a shoestring, and I would always much rather have you here with technical problems than not have you here at all. So no need to apologise. And I have to say, your phone is working perfectly. The picture is clear, and the audio is fantastic.
Quality.
So I don't know. I could probably play around with the image, kind of, change it or whatever, stretch it out, make it fit for next time if need be. Kyle, your standout moment.
I think it has to be my Devil's Bargain. Such a intense situation, such a risky thing to have happen.
Yeah, no, it was good, and it kind of set the scene because like having that, the water coming in kind of really sets a very vivid scene as well as we were trying to escape the ship. So one of the things I like about Blades in the Dark is, the worst case things that happen kind of add to the story, and it's quite fun to actually have them happen, to have consequences and stuff. I suppose, last but not least, Kristian, any moment that stood out for you?
I liked you all attacking the vampire, to be honest. I quite enjoyed that. I liked I especially liked Sarah's description of turning the knees the wrong way around. That made me very happy. So yes, it was a good action sequence for me to visualize and work with. So I liked that.
I had very much a Avengers Assemble moment as you kind of all simultaneously, sort of the gunshots, the bringing him down so that Jellybean can stab. It was it was in my head there as it kind of went slow mo. In this water of rushing in and the mushrooms everywhere, very very cool. No, great game, great fun. Thank you very very much. So, without further ado, I think it's time we just all say good night and catch you on the next one. Thank you very much, everybody. Take care, stay safe. See you all on the next one. Thanks for watching.
Bye.